Imagine arriving from Japan at a Korean school where everyone seems perfect, famous, and happy. But in reality, every hallway is full of rumors, jealousy, and secrets. A new girl only wants to start over, make friends, and support the most popular boys as a future manager. But as soon as she steps into the school, her past follows her. She is accused of something terrible, pointed at, humiliated, and they even try to destroy the only thing she has left from her former best friend. And just when everyone seems to turn their back on her, the most famous boys in the school stand in front of her to defend her. This is how this story of friendship, youthful romance, rivalry, envy, and wounds that cannot be seen at first glance begins. Everything begins at a prestigious arts high school, an elegant place where the students seem to live focused on their image, their talents, and their social media. Everyone arrives with smiles, beautiful energy, and the desire to stand out, except Shin Ji-ah. She is the most serious student in the classroom, the one who does not waste time on gossip or unnecessary friendships. For Ji-ah, the only important thing is to study, stay in first place, and secure her future. It is not that she is bad, but she has such a cold armor that almost no one dares to approach her. That same day, two girls from the fan club are extremely excited about the arrival of a transfer student from Japan. Since they know nothing about her, they start inventing an entire life for her. First, they say that maybe she is running away from a serious problem at her former school. Then they exaggerate even more and even imagine that she could be the daughter of a dangerous family, with a dark story and an intimidating attitude. But when the supposedly mysterious girl enters the classroom, all their theories fall to the floor. The new student is named Hirose Hana, and instead of looking dangerous, she is sweet, kind, and smiling. She arrives happy because she loves Korean culture, K-pop, and dramas. To her, studying in Korea is almost like fulfilling a dream. The only thing she wants is to make friends, learn, and enjoy this new stage. The teacher introduces her with excitement, but Ji-ah, with her direct style, asks her not to keep her standing for so long and to let her sit down instead. And to everyone's surprise, Hana ends up sitting next to Ji-ah, as if destiny wanted to bring together the most closed-off girl with the most hopeful one. Soon, it becomes clear that Ji-ah already knew Hana because of a rather uncomfortable situation. Some time ago, Ji-ah was leaving her private lessons and expected to find her boyfriend, Kim Baryun, as always. But that day, he was not where he was supposed to be. When she called him, he did not answer, until she saw him eating with an unknown girl, Hana. Ji-ah, without thinking twice, let herself be carried away by jealousy. She arrived furious, accused Hana of wanting to steal her boyfriend, and dragged Baryun away as if he were a possession. Baryun tried to explain that Hana was only an acquaintance from Japan who wanted to introduce herself, but Ji-ah had already made a scene. In the end, embarrassed, she had to apologize. Back in the present, Hana begins to get to know the school with Ji-ah's help. They pass through the directing department, the acting department, and the arts management area, where future managers study. Hana gets excited about everything, because she truly wants to learn how to accompany artists, organize them, and help them shine. During that tour, she also discovers the four most popular boys in the school: Gu Eun-ho, Cheon Si-woo, Na Min-soo, and Kim Baryun. Every time they appear, the girls lose their calm as if they were seeing idols live. Gu Eun-ho is the most famous of the group. He was a child actor, has a face that seems designed to attract cameras, and a confidence that borders on arrogance. He knows people like him and does not try too hard to hide it. Cheon Si-woo, on the other hand, is warmer, attentive, and kind. Na Min-soo is famous on social media, and Baryun, besides being Ji-ah's boyfriend, is the reliable boy of the group. Hana is impressed by all of them, but she also feels a little intimidated. The only thing that always accompanies her is a small bunny plush hanging from her bag, named Kosa, which seems to have a special meaning for her. From the beginning, Hana clashes with Eun-ho's personality. When she sees him for the first time in a selfie and tells him she is his fan, he responds as if that were the most normal thing in the world, because to him everyone admires him. Si-woo, in contrast, notices small things about Hana. He knows that in her bag she always carries everything, even water and candy. That attention surprises her, because she is not used to someone observing her with affection without judging her. Later, Hana visits the library because she wants to read a book that Ji-ah recommends. Since the book is in Korean, she could give up, but she insists that when she sets her mind to something, she finds a way. There she meets Si-woo, who plays with her innocence by making her close her eyes and ask for candy as if it were magic. When the candy appears, she is fascinated. When he later makes her ask for pizza and nothing appears, she understands that he was teasing her affectionately. That small moment makes it clear that Si-woo is starting to look at her with tenderness. The teacher then announces the mid-semester project. Each team must unite acting students with management students. By chance, Hana ends up with Eun-ho and Si-woo. Eun-ho becomes discouraged when he learns that she comes from a regular school and not from a specialized institution. To him, that means he will have to carry a beginner. The teacher scolds him and reminds him that his job is also to guide her. Hana, nervous, tries to lean on Ji-ah, but Ji-ah makes it clear that she cannot solve everything for her, because she also has her own project. Even so, Hana does her part. She goes to watch the boys play basketball and cheers them on with exaggerated energy. Eun-ho asks her to calm down, but she can barely hold back for a few seconds before shouting with excitement again. After the game, Si-woo takes her to the hideout where they usually gather. To Hana's surprise, everyone has prepared a small welcome party for her. It is something simple, but to her it means a lot, because she feels that for the first time she is being welcomed without fear or rejection. She gets emotional to the point of tears and squeezes Kosa, her bunny, as if she were holding a little piece of her past. While everyone celebrates, a disturbing memory from Japan appears. In that flashback, a student is questioned about an incident related to a classmate who ended up seriously affected. When Hana is mentioned, the girl reacts with rage and says terrible things about her. That brief moment makes it clear that Hana did not come to Korea only because of her love for K-pop. There is a painful story behind it, one that she tries to hide beneath kind smiles. Little by little, Hana integrates into the group. In a conversation with Si-woo, she tells him that she wants to study management because her best friend dreamed of becoming an actress, and she wanted to become her manager to accompany her on that path. Si-woo is surprised to hear such a pure reason. Then, when Hana notices that he has an untied shoelace and bends down to tie it, Si-woo becomes completely nervous. She tells him that one day she will be someone he cannot live without, referring to her future as a manager, but he interprets it in a much more romantic way. From that moment on, his heart begins to give him away. Hana also tries to get to know Eun-ho as an artist. She asks him what he likes, what he hates, what he eats, and how he behaves, because according to her, a manager must know everything. Eun-ho gets annoyed by so many questions and answers her reluctantly, but Si-woo intervenes and answers for him to prevent Hana from feeling bad. That difference between the two boys begins to mark the emotional triangle. Si-woo takes care of her softly, while Eun-ho challenges her, unsettles her, and little by little becomes interested without admitting it. Meanwhile, Ji-ah has her own problems. Although everyone sees her as the perfect student, her life is not as stable as it seems. The teacher reminds her that she is behind on the tuition payment, and Ji-ah feels ashamed. She wants to write to her mother, but deletes the message because their relationship is not good. That is why, when Hana innocently tells her that she is lucky for not having problems, Ji-ah feels judged. Hana does not say it with malice, but she touches a wound she does not know about. Despite that, Ji-ah gives her a good idea for the project, to record daily videos of Eun-ho and Si-woo, showing their routine and charisma. Hana takes the advice very seriously. She researches social media, editing, titles, and ways to make a video hook the audience. With her enthusiasm, she begins filming the boys in natural moments. She records Si-woo speaking sweetly, Eun-ho showing his most attractive side, and although she almost falls during a shot, Si-woo catches her just in time. The videos explode. The views rise enormously, not only in Korea, but also from other countries. Hana runs happily to tell them, and Si-woo is happy simply because she is happy. Eun-ho is also interested, but he gets annoyed seeing her leave with Si-woo after he had bought banana milk for her. In silence, he throws away the note he was planning to give her and drinks the beverage himself, jealous without wanting to admit it. Hana's success awakens a dark part in Ji-ah. From the bathroom, she hears other girls speaking wonderfully about Hana's videos, while no one mentions her effort. And when the student ranking is published, what Ji-ah feared most happens. Hana takes first place from her. For a girl who had built her entire identity around being the best, that feels like a betrayal. She begins to distance herself, speak coldly to her, and treat her like a threat. Ji-ah's envy mixes with the jealousy of Mia, the president of Eun-ho's fan club. Mia cannot stand that Hana spends so much time with him. First, she pressures her to get her a photo with Eun-ho. Then she begins watching her every move, believing Hana is using the project to get romantically close to the most popular boy. Eun-ho, realizing this, confronts Mia and warns her not to bother his team. But that is not enough to put out the jealousy. Hana, for her part, begins to notice small gestures from Eun-ho that disarm her. He protects her when she almost gets hit by a ball, gives her a small key he used in a childhood movie, and tells her it will bring her good luck. She hangs it next to her bunny Kosa, happy about the detail. However, that happiness does not last long, because Mia and her friends corner her. They accuse her of wanting to attract Eunho's attention, intimidate her, and end up destroying her bunny plush. That moment changes everything. Hana stops being the girl who smiles to avoid problems and shows a strength no one expected. With a firm voice, she tells Mia that before wanting to be someone's friend, she should first learn to be a decent person. Mia leaves scared, convinced that Hana has a dangerous side. Eunho, who hears everything, is impressed. For the first time, he sees that behind that sweetness there is a girl who has survived much more than she appears to. Afterward, Hana tries to repair Kosa, and Eunho begins to notice that her smile is not always real. While they cook together, he asks her why she seems to fake happiness. She answers that she had a friend who always smiled, and that because she loved her so much, she also wants to smile like her. Eunho tells her something important, that she does not need to imitate anyone, that it is better to be herself. That phrase, although simple, touches Hana deeply, because no one had told her that so clearly before. At the same time, the jealousy between Eunho and Siwoo becomes increasingly obvious. Siwoo looks at her tenderly when she pulls chopsticks out of her bag, as if she were always prepared for everything. Eunho notices that look and slams the chopsticks against the table, making it clear that it bothers him. Hana, innocent or perhaps trying not to complicate things, does not want to accept that both are beginning to feel something for her. The situation becomes even more complicated when Hana receives an anonymous message asking her if she knows Kosa. That name leaves her frozen. Shortly after, Mia manipulates the situation to publish a Japanese article about Hana's past from Jia's phone. In a matter of minutes, the whole school is reading rumors about her. They accuse her of having been involved in a painful episode with a classmate from Japan. Hana, devastated, feels that her secret has been exposed and looks at Jia as if she had betrayed her. The popular boys react immediately. Eunho, Siwoo, Baryeon, and Minsu run to find out what happened. Eunho wants to confront Jia, but Siwoo stops him to prevent the situation from getting out of control. Meanwhile, Hana runs through the hallways until she runs out of strength. Kosa falls to the floor, and Eunho picks it up to return it to her. She can barely look at him, because she feels that everyone is seeing her like in Japan. Not as a wounded person, but as a culprit. Then the truth of the past is revealed. In Japan, Kosa was Hana's best friend. She dreamed of becoming an actress, but at an audition she received very harsh criticism about her appearance. After that, she asked Hana for an honest opinion. Hana, not knowing how fragile Kosa was, pointed out her mistakes instead of comforting her. Kosa ended up making a desperate decision and fell from the rooftop. Hana did not arrive in time to stop her. A photo taken out of context showed her at the scene, and rumors unfairly accused her. Since then, Hana carries guilt, pain, and a reputation she could never clear. Eunho does not hesitate to believe her. He hugs her and promises that he will be on her side, that he will listen to her, and that he will not let the rumor destroy her. Siwoo also approaches with sweet words, telling her that she is a wonderful person and that she is not alone. That scene is key, because right there the essence of the title is fulfilled. The Japanese girl who arrives at a Korean school and suffers bullying is not left abandoned. The most popular boys, the ones everyone admires, decide to defend her not for fame, but because they have seen her heart. Hana gathers courage and tells everything to her friends. She tells them about Kosa, about her dream of becoming an actress, about how she wanted to become her manager, and about the guilt she has carried since that day. Nam Min-soo says something clumsy, suggesting that maybe Kosa would no longer want her as a manager, and Eunho reacts immediately to silence him. Although his ways are impulsive, it is clear that he cannot stand seeing Hana hurt. Meanwhile, Baryeon discovers that Jia did not publish the article. Mia and her friends used her phone to incriminate her. Upon finding out, Baryeon regrets having doubted the girl he loved for so many years. He goes to look for Jia, apologizes, and tells her that he should have listened to her before judging her. Jia also breaks a little and admits that envy made her unfair to Hana. She understands that a simple school project was not worth losing a friendship or hurting someone who only wanted to start over. Eunho, Siwoo, and their friends decide to help Hana in a very special way. They record a support video for her and for Kosa. They recreate the last conversation, but this time with words of hope, as if they wanted to give Kosa the comfort she did not receive at the time. The video goes viral and helps clear Hana's image. Thanks to that, the rumors begin to lose strength and the truth comes to light. The next day, Hana arrives at school afraid. But this time she does not walk alone. Eunho and all her friends accompany her down the hallway like a shield. The scene is simple but powerful. She does not have to prove anything alone, because now she has people willing to believe in her. In the classroom, Her classmates receive her with more warmth. And Jia, in a gesture of reconciliation, returns a book to her and agrees to sit next to her again. The absurd rivalry between the two finally ends. After overcoming the scandal, the drama returns to the feelings. Eun-ho becomes bolder with Hana, even sticking a label with his name on her as if he wanted to say that he already considers her special. Si-woo, obviously, does not stay calm. The two boys begin to compete in a childish but adorable way. They bother each other, get jealous, and look for excuses to be near her. Hana ends up in the middle, exhausted from having to separate them every time they start arguing. At a school event, the romantic tension rises. During a trip, Hana falls asleep and Si-woo rests her head on his shoulder, feeling blessed by the universe. But when Eun-ho wakes up and sees her like that, jealousy consumes him. Carefully, he moves her head so that she ends up leaning on his own shoulder and even writes his name on Hana's hand, as if he wanted to leave a mark that he is also there. Later, Si-woo notices the writing and covers it with correction fluid, annoyed by that small silent declaration. Later, they play a question game, and Si-woo is asked if he likes Hana. He does not answer, but drinks an entire bottle to avoid telling the truth. Then Eun-ho is asked the same question, and he does exactly the same. No one says anything, but everyone understands everything. When Hana is asked which of the two she would act with, she first answers Eun-ho, causing a huge smile on his face. But right away she adds that also with Si-woo because she is the manager of both of them, leaving the two in the same battle as always. The competition between them becomes clearer when Eun-ho asks Si-woo when he fell in love with Hana. Si-woo remembers that day when she tied his shoelaces, while Eun-ho admits that he liked her from the first time he saw her at school. Although both seem to be joking, what they feel is real. Si-woo even writes a love letter to Hana, a sincere and calm confession. She reads it by accident and is left speechless. He does not pressure her, he only asks her to think about it. Eun-ho, seeing that Hana and Si-woo are closer, decides to make a move too. He sends her a message asking her on a date. Hana is surprised, but instead of responding with a romantic outing, she invites him to meet with everyone. Eun-ho arrives excited, with a necklace prepared for her, but realizes it will not be a private date. Even so, the strongest moment comes when Hana speaks alone with Si-woo and gives him a letter. In it, she explains that she cares about him very much, but as a friend and as someone she wants to support as a manager. She rejects him respectfully, without mocking his feelings. Si-woo is hurt, but he accepts the answer with maturity. Then Hana shows everyone a video with the memories they shared. She confesses that while editing it, she could not stop smiling because they all gave her beautiful moments. She also reveals wonderful news. Kosa is recovering and will soon return home. For Hana, that means the guilt she carried is beginning to transform into hope. Then it starts to rain, and Eun-ho feels that if he does not speak now, maybe he will lose his chance. He takes Hana's hand and they both run through the rain. When they stop, she trembles from the cold and he places his jacket over her shoulders. Finally, he confesses. He tells her that having her in his life made him happier than ever, that although it hurts him to see her leave, she will always have a special place in his heart. Then he takes the small key he once gave her and places it on his own necklace, promising her that a part of him will always go with her. Shortly after, Hana returns to Japan. There is no perfect romantic closure with eternal kisses or impossible promises, but a beautiful connection remains. Eun-ho looks at her photos and proposes that they all go visit her, as if distance were not enough to separate what they built. His friends accept, because in the end Hana is no longer the new girl or the foreigner wrapped in rumors. Now she is part of them. Something beautiful about this story is that, although Hana seems like a girl too sweet to defend herself, in reality she is not weak. What happens is that she arrives in Korea trying not to repeat the mistakes of the past. In Japan, she lost her friend, lost her reputation, and lost confidence in herself. That is why, when she enters this new school, she decides to smile more than necessary, be useful to everyone, and not bother anyone. It is as if she believes that if she becomes perfect, no one will have reasons to reject her. But life shows her that people who want to hurt others do not need real reasons, they only need an excuse. That is why it hurts so much to see how Mia and her group turn admiration for Eun-ho into obsession. They do not truly love the boy. They love the idea of possessing him, of controlling who gets close to him and who deserves to look at him. Hana never tries to take anything from them, but her talent, her closeness with Eun-ho, and her natural way of winning Si-woo over make them feel threatened. That is where the bullying is born. From the insecurity of other people who prefer to sink someone rather than improve themselves. And that is very real, because many times someone who shines without meaning to ends up bothering those who live comparing themselves. Jia also represents another type of conflict. She does not chase Hana because of love for Eun-ho, but because of fear of losing her place. She was always number one, the impeccable girl, the one who did not need anyone. Then Hana arrives, with no experience, with a clumsy smile and sincere energy, and in a few weeks she gets what Jia took years to build. That breaks her inside. But the drama does not paint her as an absolute villain, because it also shows us her problems, the financial pressure, the difficult relationship with her mother, and the fear of failing. Jia makes mistakes, yes, but her mistake is born from a wound she never learned to say out loud. In contrast, Hana has a different way of facing pain. She wants to get closer, wants to help, wants to believe that she can be friends with Jia. That is why she insists so much, even though Jia treats her badly. She does not do it because she lacks dignity, but because she truly values bonds. To Hana, a friend is not just anything. After what she lived through with Kosa, she knows how painful it is to lose someone without having been able to fix the words left pending. That is why every rejection from Jia weighs on her more than normal. She is not only losing a classmate, she is reliving the fear of failing someone again. The triangle with Eun-ho and Siwoo also has a lot of charm because the two love her in different ways. Siwoo is the boy who appears calmly, who comforts her in her language, who notices when she is sad, and who falls in love with the small details. He does not need grand scenes to make her feel cared for. A look, a kind word, or a simple gesture is enough to show what he feels. That is why his confession in the letter is so sweet. He does not try to pressure her or turn his love into an obligation, he simply gives her his heart with respect and gives her space to decide. Eun-ho, on the other hand, starts as the typical arrogant boy who seems to live in love with his reflection. But with Hana, that mask falls a little. He gets jealous, gets annoyed when she smiles with Siwoo, tries to get her attention, and does childish things, like writing his name on her hand. But underneath that immaturity, there is a boy who learns to truly care about someone. When everyone judges Hana because of the article, he does not stay doubting. He looks for her, listens to her, hugs her, and tells her that he believes her. That is the moment when he stops being just the popular boy and starts being someone who deserves to be near her. It is also important that Hana does not accept Siwoo only out of pity. Sometimes, in dramas, a girl receives a confession from someone good, and it seems like she has to return it because he was kind. But Hana understands that affection cannot be repaid with a relationship. She respects him too much to give him false hope. Her letter is a mature way of saying that she values him, that she cares for him, and that she wants to remain by his side, but not in the way he dreams of. That is also love, even if it is not romantic. Being honest so as not to hurt more. Hana's farewell has a bittersweet taste because she does not leave defeated. She leaves after having recovered something she thought was lost. Her voice, her truth, and a network of people who love her. Before, she arrived as a foreigner, insecure and carrying an unfair rumor. Now she leaves as a girl who learned that she does not need to hide her story in order to be accepted. Kosa recovers, Jia gets closer again, Baryeon learns to trust, and the popular boys stop being a superficial fantasy and become real friends. That is why, although the romance does not close with a completely defined relationship, the heart feels satisfied. Eun-ho confesses his feelings and Hana understands that what they lived through was not just anything. Siwoo accepts his place with sadness but with dignity. Jia and Baryeon begin to heal their relationship. And the entire group learns that fame, views, and rankings are not worth as much as loyalty shown when someone is being unfairly accused. In the end, the most powerful part of the story is not who ends up with whom, but how everyone changes thanks to Hana. She arrives as a girl looking for a place to start over, but ends up teaching the others that popularity is useless if you do not have humanity. Because defending someone when everyone applauds is easy, but defending them when everyone accuses them requires heart. And that detail connects very well with the title of the video. Hana does suffer bullying at the Korean school. She is judged for coming from Japan, but she also finds popular boys who defend her not out of pity, but because they discover her truth and learn to love her sincerely. That makes the story romantic, youthful, and emotionally quite beautiful to watch. 2. And so this story ends, leaving a very beautiful lesson. Sometimes a person enters our life carrying wounds that cannot be seen, and if we only listen to rumors, we can become part of the damage. Hana was judged because of an incomplete story, Jia almost lost a friendship because of envy, and Mia caused harm because of jealousy. But we also saw that sincere friendship, respectful love, and someone willing to listen can change everything. The moral of this drama is that we should not judge anyone by what others say. We all have a past, fears, and mistakes that we do not always know how to explain. It also reminds us that true friendship does not compete, does not humiliate, and does not abandon when problems arrive. And in love, the one who arrives first or shouts the loudest does not always win, but the one who knows how to care, wait, and respect the other person's heart. Because sometimes, more than a perfect romance, what we need is to find people who believe in us when the whole world seems to be pointing at us. End of the drama.